Hi, this is Patricia Omoqui, and today I am excited to introduce you to a woman who has had a profound impact on my inner growth. Her name is Byron Katie, and Katie is the author of best-selling books including Loving What Is and 1,000 Names for Joy. She also teaches a process of self-inquiry called The Work. Katie, thank you so much for taking time to share the work with my Nigerian family.
Oh, you're welcome, Patricia. It's my privilege.
Thank you. I've heard you say that the work found you. Could you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, actually, I was very depressed for more than a decade, and I was agoraphobic and very paranoid, unable to leave my house sometimes weeks and months at a time. And on one morning, as I lay sleeping on the floor, and actually I was so full of self-loathing, I didn't believe I even deserved a bed to sleep in. So this particular morning, as I lay sleeping on the floor, actually a cockroach crawled over my foot. And I opened my eyes, and in place of all that darkness was a joy that I absolutely can't describe. And what is important about that moment, not only was the work discovered inside of me in that moment, but what I discovered that is very important is that when we believe our thoughts, we suffer. And when we question our thoughts, we don't suffer. In other words, when we don't believe them, we don't suffer. And I've come to see that this is true for every human being. And that the positive thoughts we are thinking are truer to ourselves, to our heart, to our true nature. And then these negative thoughts that just go through our minds, they just flow, and we get so stuck on them, and they bring tears and a meanness that is so against our own being, and that to question those thoughts wake us up from all that stress, and that affects even our health.
Well, as I'm listening to you and thinking of someone who has never heard of the work before, I'm thinking, can it really be that simple to eliminate suffering in our lives by just looking at our thoughts? It just seems like there are so many dramas going on around us, and there's so much conflict outside of us. How can I be happy when there are difficult things going on all around me? Isn't that causing me suffering?
Well, actually, the world does not cause suffering, as I have come to understand. It's what I'm believing about the world that was the cause of my suffering. For example, if I have someone in my life, let's say I believe that this person doesn't care about me. Let's say he doesn't care about me. Well, the work is a way to question, a way to identify what we're believing in the moment, and to question it, a way to identify what is the cause of the stress we're experiencing. So let's say I identified that I believe he doesn't care about me. So the work is 4 questions and a turnaround. And examples for those turnarounds, for example, he doesn't care about me. I would ask myself, is it true? That's the first question in the work. And then I would ask myself, can I absolutely know that it's true? And then I would ask myself to notice, how do I react? What happens when I believe the thought he doesn't care about me? And then as I become very still with that, I begin to notice how I attacked him when I believed it, maybe, or I gave him the cold treatment, maybe, as I was believing that thought, or maybe I become very sad, or maybe I become such a victim, he doesn't care about me, and then just noticing all of that. And then the 4th question in the work is, who would I be? And those viewers that are following this, who would you be without the thought? Who would it be living in the world without the thought, he doesn't care about you, she doesn't care about you, or people, anyone in the world didn't care about you? And I'm not saying they don't. I'm just asking you, who would you be without that thought? And to notice the difference. And then we begin to notice that it is not the fact that he does or doesn't care about me that is causing my suffering. It's my thoughts about him. It's my thought about he doesn't care about me. Because we think that, maybe he's 1,000 miles away, and we're sitting in a chair and we think the thought, he doesn't care about me. She doesn't care about me. And then we experience those feelings, and then we feel emotions like guilt and sadness and frustration. And then after those 4 questions and turnarounds, I invite people to turn the thought around. We're to the turnarounds. So he doesn't care about me, turned around. I don't care about him. There's an opposite. And then I begin to look at the ways that I have been unkind, that I haven't been caring toward him. And I begin to make amends as I notice those. And then in that, I begin to make it right. And that's a kinder way to live for me. And then another turnaround, he does care about me. And to begin, to really notice and look back on the times where it's obvious there were moments he did care about me, and just to take that into consideration. And then another turnaround to notice is I don't care about me. And to begin to find the ways that, in fact, I haven't been caring about me. And then to notice, if I don't care about myself, how can I expect others to care about me? And so that's the work. It's that simple. So when we believe our thoughts, we suffer. And when we question our thoughts, we begin to notice that the suffering changes entirely. And, freedom is our birthright. And I am watching this bring freedom to millions and millions of people. And the work works if your mind is open to it. And
regardless of where you live or what culture you're from, you find
or language.
Or language, really.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, I've done a lot of world travel by invitation, taking this work to people that request it, and it's on my website. It's always free. It's all there, and it works for anyone whose mind is open to it.